Well, I finally finished leveling my Necromancer. I have gotten my Psijic and Mage's Guild to appropriate levels. I still have quite a few passives left to go, and of course some Undaunted, but I did bring my Necro out into PvP today, and, well, there's some mixed feelings about it. The first thing that I want to say is Necromancer feels really strong. It really feels like a good class. It feels like a unique class, and it feels like a fun class. But the big issue with Necromancer is that a lot of their skills, a lot of how they function, like the corpse gameplay, is just broken and does not function properly. And this is really a huge shame because I really was looking forward to playing Necromancer, and I was really looking forward to doing just this. Look at that nice big burst, but unfortunately, this is not the norm that I experienced in PvP. So the first big bug I want to talk about is the corpse gameplay. Sometimes the corpses don't get made. There you see my armor buff goes out. It should produce a corpse when it goes out, and we reuse it, and there is no corpse created. Now that hurts Necromancer a lot because they need to have that corpse gameplay. You have corpse reliant skills, and that's not good at all. Now the second big thing that Necromancer is not doing well is the Blast Bones, which is one of their most pivotal skills for the Necromancer. Blast Bones is like the biggest PvP skill that they have, and just look at this. It won't properly run at the target. It's changing its mind, running back and forth between us, and then it just despawns. And not only that, but the only morph of Blast Bones that seems to be doing the right amount of damage is the Magicka Stalking Blast Bones morph. The Stamina morph and the base morph are both doing half the amount of damage that they should be, so it just doesn't even work for some builds. And man, it's unfortunate. You know, Blast Bones is a really cool skill, and it's a very pivotal skill to Necromancer Burst, and to have their main burst skill not function properly, it's kind of a kick to the pants. So in this video here, I only really have dueling footage of the Necromancer, and the reason that I only really have duels is because every time we got in a larger fight, I was trying to use the abilities like the summons, I was trying to use the Blast Bones, I was trying to use the tether off the corpses on the ground, but I was just continuously running into issues with them not functioning properly, and I found the more people that I was in combat with, the less reliable all of this got. Blast Bones would start doing some really weird stuff, and yeah, it's really disappointing because I really, really enjoyed leveling the Necro. I really enjoyed playing it on the PTS, and to just see the fact that literally the core skills of how this class functions made it to the live server in such a bugged state, man. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to lie, I didn't have high hopes for Necromancer getting to the live server without lots of big trouble, and yeah, I got exactly what I was expecting. This is exactly what I thought would happen with ZeniMax. They would release the class when it's not ready. They didn't properly bug test these things. They didn't properly fix these skills, and they just pushed it out to the live server as soon as possible. So I, of course, am going to keep playing the Necromancer. Like, I want to play the class, and I'm just going to see if I can figure out a way to get around some of these issues. Maybe I just won't use the skills that are bugged out, but it's a really big shame, and I'm really disappointed with ZeniMax on this one. I mean, come on, man. This is the most hyped. This is literally the most hyped patch ever for this game, and for them to just put it through with this lack of care, I don't know. Par for the course, I think. But anyway, let's talk about the stuff in Necromancer that I did really enjoy. Well, the first thing that I want to talk about is the durability. Necromancer has awesome durability. It has really strong healing power with the Mender, just like I said on the PTS, and I've actually mixed that with the Mortal Coil, and when we can get the Mortal Coil tether to work, like we just failed to get it to work as we aimed at the corpse there, the corpse is still there and we couldn't get the tether to work, but when it works, it's very strong. The combination of the two hots mixed with Expunge and a damage shield, it really feels good to play Magicka Necro. The Mortal Tether, of course, restores stamina too, so it gives us really strong ability to block and roll dodge even on a Magicka class, so I really like that key aspect to how I've built my Magicka Necromancer, and when it works, it feels really strong. I just feel really tanky, and here's this fight I had against this Sork, and this is actually the third fight that we had. We did a couple fights before. I ended up winning all the fights against him, but he played fairly well, and it was really interesting for me to just learn how to counter the Sork on the Necromancer, and it works quite well. I'll say that. When it works well. Now, Necromancer's damage is also quite good, I think, too. Of course, I am using the morph of Blast Bones that isn't bugged and is dealing regular damage, so that's helping me out a lot. But the Necromancer damage on the Mag Necro at least feels really nice. We've got quite a lot of burst with the Blast Bones into the Fire Staff knockback, and we can really put some hurt into our opponents on this build. Now, the tricky part about using the Necro Burst is, of course, timing, and I think you're going to be doing a lot of partial charged or fully charged heavy attacks when you're waiting for the Blast Bones, just to time the Blast Bones jump with your Necro attack. Now, this just goes right back into the Blast Bones, just kind of targeting funny, and that's a big reason why the timing is a little bit trickier. I feel like if they patched up the timing on the Blast Bones, if they just made it function a little bit more reliably in a certain direction, we would see better stuff out of the Necromancer, and the burst would just feel a little bit more accessible as well. And then that brings me to the sustain of the Necromancer. Magicka Necromancer at least feels like it has really strong sustain. If you're using the corpse gameplay and you're tethering the bodies, Mag Necro has 2 skills that can pull Magicka and Stamina from your opponent's bodies. Expunge can also be morphed to return resource as well. And of course, the base regen for having a summon up is really nice as well. Just keep in mind, I'm actually short some of my class passives too in this footage. So it was interesting to play a little bit of a disadvantage Magicka Necro, but I feel like as time goes on, we'll feel stronger and stronger on it, and hopefully ZeniMax will do something about the issues that it has regarding the corpses and the Blast Bones. So the entire class feels very complete. The only thing that I think Necromancer is kind of lacking is mobility. It is definitely a slower class. It's the same speed as Templar and Dragon Knight. There are no mobility skills attached. They don't even get Major Expedition, similar to Templar DK. Actually, DK gets it off the chains, but you know, it feels fine that it's slow. You can always build speed into the build. With the changes to Race Against Time, we of course have access to that easy Major Expedition as well. And for how Necro is, just from a lore perspective, I don't think it's supposed to be fast. The corpse gameplay doesn't really benefit from you kiting a lot, because you can't really utilize the corpse if you run too far away from them. So I do not mind that it's slow. I honestly like how the class feels. I like how it's balanced. The only thing I think is a little overkill is probably that Rezzing ultimate, but I haven't used it myself, nor have I seen a lot of Necros using it in PvP. To my surprise, I feel like we'll see a lot more Necros using the Res ult as people finish leveling them up and we get more of them in PvP. So there you go, guys. Those are my impressions of Necromancer after my first day of PvP on it on the live server. I'm hoping to bring you guys some 1vx Necromancer footage. Like I said, this build feels really strong when it works, so we're just going to have to hope that we get lucky in the footage as well, that our corpses all get made properly, and we manage to land those Blast Bones when we need to land them. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hit that like button if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more Necromancer and, of course, all the other classes on this game. We feature top 5 PvP battles. If you guys are interested in sending in footage or even sending in a build video to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. And we do all of the voting for the top 5 live on Twitch, so if you guys want to be a part of selecting the top 5 each week, you can always check out my Twitch channel. Link, of course, in the description below. Finally, guys, we are sponsored by What the Fast, a VPN for gamers, giving me better ping to my favorite games, free to try for the first 14 days, and no harm, no foul, no credit card to sign up if it doesn't help you out. And if you guys really love the show, feel free to become a patron on Patreon. You guys are really what makes it possible for me to continue to put out the regular videos and stream. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope you're looking forward to a little bit more Necro. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Necromancer, so please let me know in the comments below. Have a great night, everyone.